Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, we are continuing to work on compulsory primary school. We're continuing to work on mechanizing the armed forces. How's the tank supply? Tank supply is still dirt cheap. Our automotive industries are producing a ton of tanks. A veritable shit ton. How's that affecting profits? Profits are low, but they'll be going up as time goes by, because we're building a lot of tanks here. So that's interesting. So oh gosh dang it. Backroom dealings exposed. Prominent members of the trade unions, outspoken supporters of compulsory primary school, and close allies of Amedio Betsy have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. One aide was all it took, one boy squeezing acne from his face in the right place at the right time to overhear the howling laughter, smell the rich tobacco blend, and spot Amedio Betsy's new golden cufflinks. One honest fellow's word to the right ears, and it was all uncovered. So, such is the nature of politics, reduce enactment time, he loses a bunch of popularity, or throw them to the wolves, we must clean up this mess, reduce bureaucracy, reduce enactment success chance, or we can derive some benefit by participating ourselves, reduce enactment time, one setback. If I could get enactment chance out of this third one, I would do it. As it stands, I'm going to do the second. 37% chance is very respectable. Obviously, that puts us in a shortage of bureaucracy, but I can build more right now. Oh, actually, where are we at the end of the barracks? We're at the end of the barracks. Well, that's Excite Bike. Let's close out the rest of this siege artillery. That's fun. And obviously now our recruitment's kind of uneven all over the country, but that is what it is. Armies are looking good. Still trying to recruit those light tanks, but that is what it is. Now, bureaucracy's doing okay. We're gonna get some back when we finally finish this, if we succeed. Got a good advance in debate chance though, so I'm not worried. This number is not making me happy, but it is what it is. Electricity Piedmont Home Goods is losing prosperity. How? Curious. Electricity shortage in South Tyrol. Let's deal with that. How much electricity do we need? An extra 4 levels. Let's put them at the top of the queue. It's interesting how in the interface it's known as Piedmont Home Goods, but it's Lazio Home Goods, and kind of that's where our capital is. Look at Rome. Look at this big old mega city. We sure have highly urbanized Italy in this run, I will say. Shukri Ingegneri was exiled from the Ottoman Empire. Who are you? You're an anarchist aligned with the trade unions. Interesting. So, with our armies having been retrained, let's take a look at how that's affected our prestige. Yeah, we're significantly higher now, even way out ahead of Great Britain, which is nice. Perhaps I shall wage a war of aggression or two. Electricity shortage in Corsica. Well, how much do they need? Oh, nope, that's just, they need to flex upward in production. Insufficient construction for the investment pool. This is still happening. So let's build up a few more locations. Okay. Law debate failed. We lost 10%. Gosh dang it. I should never have let it go below 50. What a fool I was. Let's build up Venezia. And then let's build up Sicily. Oh, wow. Oh, we're at the end of the construction pool. Heck. Oh, no, I see. Hold on. Let's get all those done before we work on these power block statues. The power block statues are not urgent. Tanks are still extremely affordable. That's quite curious. Military budget's Midland. Kind of makes me want to build more tanks, to be honest. Because I do not want the... I do not want building tanks to be a loss activity for my automotive industries. I mean, that just seems silly. Maybe... I mean, I don't know. I think that means we need to increase the size of our armed forces. So let's go ahead and do that. Where are our barracks now? How did we end up with uneven barracks? Well, it's fine. Alright, and then another 10 levels of heavy tanks. And 5 levels of light tanks. And public address goes awry. Stop giving me stall events. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of compulsory primary school by Amedio Betsy has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the trade unions. Fumbling his way through a series of poorly presented talking points, Amedio Betsy's arguments have been viciously and convincingly picked apart by his political opponents. The question on everyone's lips now is merely if this mishap was due to the inherent failings of compulsory primary school, or can be chalked down to the political incompetence of the trade unions. It's the fault of this poorly thought-out proposal, reduced enactment chance. Betsy must take the blame for this setback, reduce popularity for him and weaker trade unions, or scrap the current draft and make a show of a rewrite. Extra enactment time. Reduce popularity for Betsy, increased enactment success chance. I'm going to go with the third one. That's going to give me 37% enactment success chance. I sure hope taking a setback will not prove to have been an error. So, we're taking fourth core and second core and increasing it to size 60. Maybe I should create a fifth core that's equal in size to fourth core. I think that's right. Which is 40, 10, 40, 20, 10. Then again, perhaps I should consider my navies. Yes, I think we'll focus on my navies for now. We need more submarines. And I'll throw all these power block statues at the bottom of the queue. We'll get them finished later. Again, this number, I'm not actually all that concerned about. Although perhaps I should be. This number is a little bit ugly. Really? You're going for round 2, huh? Now, last time, my war goal was an automatic cut down to size. I don't think I want to make that mistake this time. That seems pointless. Give me all your money. Wow. That's wild. All of Germany's money. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Hold on. Let's let this go for a second, because this is a a unify war goal. You want Italian East Africa, Alsace-Lorraine, and North Rhine. Okay, so it hasn't popped up automatically. I'm sick of this huge Germany, so let me see. I'm just looking at options here. Bremen, Danzig, Hanover. Wait. Where's Liberate Poland? Ah, what a shame. What a shame. I guess Posen has to be de jure Polish territory, isn't it? I guess, I don't know. Anyway, what a tragedy. What an absolute tragedy that I cannot liberate Poland. Nevertheless, let's get liberating. Perhaps Westphalia is a couple states, right? Yeah, Westphalia, Rhine, and North Rhine. Let's liberate Westphalia and Hanover. I have countries I can pull in, and this time the Indians and the Americans are not in a war with each other. Britain seems incredibly unlikely of getting into this. Now, if I add a war goal, now it costs more. Oh no, it's thing by thing. I can't do that. Ooh. No, it's too much infamy. I can't just make them give me a ton of industry. But still, I think Liberate Country has legs. What if we add Hanover? What if we add Hanover? Yeah, we're just liberating the whole west of Germany at this stage. Alright, and then we'll pull in our other countries and all will be well. I'm going to build up a little bit more government capacity. No, I don't actually need to do that because compulsory primary school is not actually going to make that different. So, let me see, where are we in the episode? Oh, we're not too. We'll be able to fight a chunk of this war. So, countries. India. You're a larger... Well, India and America both have pretty high flexing capability from an armed forces perspective, but let's see what kind of an army India has. Okay, not necessarily super duper high level. What about United States? I know I usually select the capital, but okay, mobile artillery. Well, okay, United States has squad infantry. All right, so let's get USA first. Brazil sides with North Germany. All right, beautiful. India. Belgium sides with North Germany. All right. India sides with Italy and all of their subjects. I could get Great Britain, but they want to steal stuff from me, and I'm not going to let that happen. Sweden. Oh, I should mobilize. Haha. Let's get our heavy tanks in here. Excuse me, Occitania? How could you? How absolute dare! Alright, well, we're definitely going to pull it. Well, hold on, though. Now that Occitania is in there, I could take Provence back. I could take Provence back. I wouldn't be able to get Spanish help, though, which would be a shame. But I'm sick of Occitania picking a fight with me all the time. Gosh, dang it. No, I prefer to have Spain in this thing. I prefer to have Spain in here. All ally. So we'll put our secondary army on the Occitania front. Third Corps as well. Obviously, now we're frickin' short in radios. That's alright. Did I eventually create a 5th army? I did not. Alright, so we'll let that be. Spain sides with Italy, alright. Got significant force on both of those fronts. 4th Corps, we'll place this on the German front. I think we're going to need to raise our conscripts. Ooh, but again, we don't have any artillery or... Oh. Oh, stupid. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Wow, this force comparison is less good than I was thinking it would be. And there's compulsory primary school. Wonderful. Let's get education up to max. Now. Let me take a look at the enemy forces. See, they don't even have tanks. I think I'm going to be able to win this. I think I'm going to be able to win this, and it's not going to be close. Let's get some extra conscripts. Perfect. I think I'm actually going to put this force... This force is up here. Wow. Nah, I think we'll just go to the capital. I think it'll be easier to go to the capital. Alright, so I definitely want to get Occitania out of this war. Let's put some ships on blockade. These here. I'll put these. Whew. Almost had a problem. And that should be fine. We're slowly moving forward. How much time we got left? Oh, we can get started with this war. Actually, better overall in the war. Come on, America, get guys over here. I got a bunch of guys over here. That's what's happening. All right, no, that's fine. We got India, we got America. I'm feeling confident. Although, again, these force comparisons are making me feel a little nervous, to be completely honest. Production and agitation. We're in an election again. In collaboration with the PSI, Andrea Spano has secured a deal for cheap and quickly distributed pamphlets in support of the party. The interior of the carriage held a pleasant surprise. A crate of several thousand pamphlets, printed on an industrial scale, each with instructions on the voting process and a cheaply copied logo of the PSI. They made a hefty weight, and he hoped would turn out to be an equally sized benefit. Bury our opponents in a sea of paper, extra momentum, or these connections can be used later. Less momentum becomes ambitious. Let's bury our opponents in a sea of paper. I'm going to increase taxes once again. I'm going to finish out... No, I'm not. I don't need to finish out those power block statues. They don't actually matter. Let's see how that affects cash flow. I thought it was going to affect it more. Oh wow, the investment pool is using the entire... Wow, that's impressive. Well, now I'm thinking about increasing military wages. Yeah, it's barely a drop in the bucket at this stage. Things are getting a little dicey. Of course, the investment pool is now being drained, but I can sustain that building with the entire investment pool for a while now, which is nice. This will stop tour. Giaffredo Bologna intends to travel across Istria by train to campaign for the conservative Catholics. All I intend to do is present myself to the people. I'm just a simple man trying to get our party's message out by the best means possible. Campaigning by rail is a smart move, extra momentum for the conservative Catholics. Or it'd be a shame if that campaign train kept suffering delays. Reduce momentum for the conservative Catholics. Both of these are going to reduce throughput of the railway. I'm going to do the second one. Okay, so Agrarian Party and PSI are probably going to lose this election now, because I've just gone and increased taxes. There's the war. So, let's take a look at some of these battles once they've kicked off, and see how much strength I've got in terms of the enemy. We are winning over here. Yeah, look at all that offense. I don't have flamethrowers yet, but I think I'm in the process of researching them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's actually going to help us even more to be the winner of this war. Yeah, we're winning a battle over here. We're winning a battle over here. And most of this is down to reduced casualty rates. Having the amount of armor that we've got dramatically reduces your casualty rate. And that's just a huge benefit in terms of forging a sustained war effort. And cash flow is doing a little better as well, which is interesting. So as you can see, these force comparisons are markedly improving as we get going here. And there's flamethrowers. Now, flamethrowers is only an extra kill rate. It'll reduce organization of the armies. I'm actually not going to implement that. Ooh, second fleet was defeated. Who's hunting my fleets? Get out of here. Occitania, I guess, has a real fleet. See, now I'm regretting that I didn't steal some territory from Occitania when I had the chance. But nevertheless, we're going to get them very significantly reduced. We're gonna get them out of the war pretty fast, I'm hoping. So look at this is what those of you who play Europa Universalis 4 would describe as vassal swarm, and I'm here for it. Partisan papers. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the PSI have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Read all about it. Honest politicians attacked by shameless cowards. Leading candidate for office issues heartwarming appeal to the common man's heart. Man on campaign trail pets a puppy. Read all about it. The PSIs use the papers brilliantly, 10% momentum, or newspaper circulations through the roof. This is a boom for publishers. Extra paper mills throughput. I'm going to do the first one. Putting extra momentum into the hands of the PSI is good, actually. They're not going to get close, but over time, I'm hoping they and the Agrarian Party will be able to outflank the right. And we are winning on this front. We are also winning on the main front. Feeling pretty good about that. Again, let's look at war support protection. Germany has war support protection because we're not holding their capital. And it's possible they actually need to get, ooh, aircraft carrier to the north. So actually, I'm going to set that as our strategic objective. This front is also going to look a lot better once we've yanked Occitania out of the war. So Occitania, do you have war support protection? Not even a little bit. Their casualties taken have only been modest. What kind of armies do they have? Oh my gosh, they're using skirmish infantry and shrapnel artillery against my tanks? Oh my gosh, Occitania, what are you doing? All right. Lorenzo Luaras is our president once again. Let's form a coalition of the right. Puts our government unacceptable, but we're going to have to tolerate that because we're in the midst of a war and we need to make sure that the government doesn't go bankrupt. So, as we get going along here, ooh, the ace officer. Melchior Rosarol has gained renown not merely for utilizing aircraft in battle, but for flying one himself over the skies of the French Low Countries. The papers are calling him the Mad Hawk. He's astounding. I can't tell if it'd be better to parade him around at home or keep sicking him on everyone in the French Low Countries. Hero worship will help domestically, increase his war support, and increases his popularity. Or heroes need to stay in the war, increases army offense by 30 forever. I'm going to go with the second one. I know you'll be shocked by that. And I've got war support protection, surely, because yes, they want to steal territory from me. They want Italian East Africa, but they also want South Tyrol. They're not going to be able to take South Tyrol. I can worry a little bit about Italian East Africa, but only a little. If we can keep accruing occupation in Occitania, then that will push them out of the war pretty reliably. We're close on Rhône, and we've got Guyenne now. As you can see, we've pivoted towards moving north, trying to get Westphalia and Hanover. If we can take those areas, then we can turn, then we should have our war support, our war aims secure. Hyderabad is in default. That doesn't really impact my way of looking at things. Great Britain is still colonizing. They do love doing that, the Brits. How much are we paying in interest right now? 25k, not too bad. Not too bad. Winning some battles around in Occitania here. Occitania only has a few more states left unoccupied. So what is that doing to their war support? Not that much. Ooh! A bunch of Nordestino pops moved to northern France. That's pretty cool. Maybe they fled here from Brazilian occupation. Because that'll happen. Nice. We are winning an offensive battle here in Provence, which I'm pretty pleased about. Good, healthy amount of occupation in Languedoc. Egyptian people have low standard of living. Seems like all throughout Occitania. There's psychoanalysis. That gets me extra maneuvers. Now that I know about psychoanalysis, I could have taken Provence, but hindsight's 20/20, particularly when psychoanalysis is concerned. Yeah, I think Occitania is for sure going to lose this thing and lose it hard. Which probably was always going to happen, but I can't believe Germany's still using traditional cavalry. Giants of the Seas. Domenico della Rovere's use of battleships during the ongoing war has demonstrated that these massive constructions may still serve a purpose in modern naval warfare. The young girl looked wide-eyed at the ship floating in the harbor. It looks like it took all the world's steel to build. How many such boats are there? Of this immensity, only one, the Admiral replied, but you can be sure that as soon as our enemies find out about it, there will be two, yes. Their presence will be a compelling argument, extra influence. By their might we will rule the seas, extra prestige from Navy power projection, or we'll put this tactical experience to good use, extra progress on modern battlefleet tactics. I'm going to do the second one. I don't actually need modern battlefleet tactics that urgently. Armed Forces Petition Government. Amadeo Solaro de la Margarita, the ever-efficacious leader of the armed forces, has approached the government with a plan to enact colonial exploitation. A successful enactment is certain to contribute to his reputation as an effective politician. A word, please. The minister, halfway out the door, startled at the sound. A man stood in the hallway, bearing a leather-bound dossier. Solaro de la Margarita, he knew. His appearance was unmistakable. Yes, of course, he said. Should I... Solaro de la Margarita gave a nod and handed over the folder. At least 100 pages, judging by the weight. I'm looking to raise the first draft tomorrow, he said. I would be honored to have your support. We'll see what we can do. So this is for colonial exploitation. Do not want that. We'll see what we can do. Offer them ethno-state as a compromise, or they must understand the present situation does not allow for this. Reduce legitimacy and salty armed forces. I'm going to do the third one. I don't need... Colonial exploitation is not at all useful to me, and ethno-state is right out. If I could have given them national supremacy, then maybe, but ethno-states, it's not good. We don't want that. Like, I'm holding a lot of territory that includes, you know, Corsicans and all that. Well, not that much territory, but, you know, I'm at racial segregation, and I'm comfortable with that. Ooh, that has... Brazil leaving has made my... It's a blockade! Fully blockade a world market hub that's connected to at least 100... There you go. How's that as a line read? You can't go directly to it by clicking into it, so that's really why I did that way. Education's up to level 4. How long till Occitania is trying to get out of this thing? Dang. That is not really working. Belgium is going down in Liberty Desire faster than Occitania, which is wild, because Occitania is nearly fully occupied, or getting there. They're getting towards fully occupied. They're being absolutely stomped. I say, maybe I'm just gassing myself up a little much, but like, you know, we got a 90 ratio here. We're doing very well in Occitania. That's what I'm saying. It's going real well. Should have taken a protectorate over Belgium. Is Belgium technically a major? Yeah, they are. That's why I've never been able to get a protectorate over them. They're technically a major power. That having been said, we are moving very quickly. Germany, be glad I'm going north instead of going for your capital, because I would be causing so much devastation were I not. Alright. Treaty with Spain, trade privileges and investment rights. For trade privileges and investment rights? Heck yes. The Treaty of Reciprocity. I agree. Alright. That's Occitania out of the war. Beautiful. And with that, our armed forces are headed off to the main front, I should think. At least I hope they are. But in any case, that is all the time we got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.